Today, we're going to take a closer look at Palantir and some updates that have come out yesterday and today about their new AIP product. We're going to take a closer look at some examples, what the product is, and let's get started. Like I mentioned on today's episode, what I want to do is take a closer look at their AIP product, and this is their artificial intelligence platform. But first, let's try to understand what this product is. This is my first time covering Palantir in this channel, so let me just kind of explain this AIP. It was recently announced on April 7th, and pretty much it combines the machine learning technologies that Palantir has kind of develop for industrial and military, and partners it with the latest large language models that have recently captured public attention. And this is meant for customers across the commercial and the government sectors. Palantir does believe that every large organization in the world would soon require the system with these capabilities. The first version of AIP will be the fourth platform after Gotham, after Foundry, after Apollo, and is currently under development and will be available to an initial set of strategic partners in the coming weeks and no later than the end of May. Right now, we are sitting on April 25th, I believe, and Palantir yesterday and today showed some more product demo of this AIP platform. So yesterday they kind of introduced Palantir AIP capabilities, and this was mainly focused on the commercial aspect. Today, a few hours ago, Palantir released AIP product review, but more for the defense and military aspect. In today's episode, I am going to showcase some examples that they showed in both for the commercial aspect and the military aspect.
Discover the world of semiconductors without getting lost in the technical jargon. My new membership offers a perfect balance for investors looking to understand this exciting market. Using my electrical engineering knowledge and experience, I will release weekly exclusive videos ranging from quick 5-minute 101s to in-depth analysis, covering not just popular chip stocks, but aiming to explore every public semiconductor. Plus, join a private community of like-minded investors. Finally, I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for their subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
So first, let's understand a little bit more of AIP. They kind of break it down into three segments. The first thing that AIP does is it activates these large language models on your private network with an optimized data function. So the most important thing is it's in your private network and it is your data. The second thing, though, is it's kind of govern these large language models, defining when they can act alone and where they need human input. Also, data sensitivity. What can this LLM kind of pull out information from? And that might be kind of regulated by laws and other regulations. For example, you might not be able to use these LLMs to pull out some form of health information, as that is illegal in certain markets, right? So understanding this data sensitivity is also very, very important. And the final thing is just being able to kind of monitor and control the large language model activity. Again, kind of just these are the three main points of AIP. Here is a perfect example of AIP kind of working in the background and what kind of information they can and cannot see. Here you can see that there's numerous inputs and ways to collect data, and the data it can view is in blue, and then there might be data that it has no access to, and that is the one in pink that we can see right here. So during their presentation on April 7th, when they announced AIP, they kind of showcase what are some of the inputs you might be able to ask, but they didn't showcase any outputs. Here, for example, if you might be an intelligence analyst working for an allied nation in Europe, you might have a prompt where you want to see what are the special forces closest to this enemy, what kind of equipment do they have, are they able to move for the offensive right away, or how long will that take? And then this kind of AIP would give you an output. Unfortunately, like I mentioned on April 7th, we didn't really get to see what those outputs might look like. They also showcase how it might be in the commercial aspect, where you might be a scientist that's searching for a new drug at a large American pharmaceutical company, and you might ask AIP for the following: hey, which of our project candidate drugs is predicted to be the safest for human use, and do we have the capacity to scale up production for a clinical trial of those drugs? Again, these are just inputs and we didn't get to see the outputs. But like I mentioned yesterday and today, Palantir did product demos. Yesterday's video was more on the commercial aspect. And one of the demos they had is if you were a distribution center and there was a hurricane coming to one of your distribution centers and you wanted to learn how it might impact your deliveries and what are some of the steps you can take. For example, here one of the input was, what are my options for charting additional transportations for fulfillment and the impact? So the AIP terminal responds with 3 different solutions. Hey, if you increase your charting transportation by an additional 10%, you will fulfill roughly 46% of the orders with an additional cost per order of $130. Then it gives you an optimized one. They recommend, hey, the optimized might be if you increase your charting by 20%, you're going to be able to fulfill 76% of the orders at a price of roughly $160 per order, right? So it kind of gives you the optimized route to go, and then you're able to decide which one you want to go about. So I thought that was pretty cool. In today's episode, though, or in today's video, they kind of introduced AIP, but for the defense market. And here are what I think are some crazy prompts. So the AIP alerted whoever, this analyst intelligence officer, hey, there's some military activity detected. And then the kind of person responds, hey, can you show me more details? The AIP kind of responds with images and with more information and a summary of what's happening and where this kind of military activity is at and more information about it. After that, you're able to kind of go to the AIP and, hey, give me some courses of action to target this enemy and certain equipments, and it gives you a course of action to take. And you can see it kind of gives you distance to target, vehicle status, are the vehicles ready to go, do they need to get refueled, what kind of equipment do they have, what kind of ammunition do they have, and the overall time required to get to where they need to go. So I think this is pretty crazy how Palantir is kind of adding this large language model solution into their platforms. This is still in early innings, right? And we're just kind of seeing product demos, but I hope today's video kind of showcase some of their products. Let me know in the comments below. This is my first time covering Palantir. Let me know if the information I shared here was useful, even if you are a long-term Palantir bull. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.